Good morning and welcome to the Indigo Church. I'm just, I was about to record this. I started thinking I really would rather talk to people than talk to a screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be present with you, and I hope we can make that a reality. But for now, we're just starting out, and we're going to keep doing it in this kind of forum, this online, me talking to the screen type of thing. But it'd be nice to have an actual place, like we can meet up at a park or something, right? Like at a time with a bunch of people who want to do this, and we can have guest speakers. Like we'll arrange some kind of service, that'd be awesome. So we could all just get together, and we could have like music and stuff, maybe too, maybe even games. Like church don't gotta be boring. We could play cornhole and chill. Like we could have our little service thing, which probably be like 20 minutes, and then the rest of the time we could play volleyball or whatever. I want a place for anyone to come and have fun. Maybe you just want to relax and enjoy like the lake at the park, take a walk around the park, just something so you can enjoy nature, enjoy life to its beauty, appreciate God and the opportunities He's given you to embrace life and have fun and make this something beautiful with the time you have here on earth. So that's just an idea I'm kicking around. It just came to my mind right before I started recording. I would really love to do that, like meet up with a group of people who want to do this, and then maybe it'll grow and become, who knows. But these are just my dreams for what this church could be. Really, it's just a place we can open up and believe and love. Just a great place to be. But today I have a reading prepared that I wrote myself again. And then I have a Bible reading that I want to read too that kind of connects to what the message is today. So basically, this is what I had to say. I said, Jesus represents love, sacrifice, and forgiveness. In this world, love seems to be lost by many people who were not strong enough to hold on, not willing to make a sacrifice for love, not willing to forgive for love. Jesus shows us the way by doing what seems impossible for love. It may seem impossible to make a sacrifice or forgive. It may seem easier to disregard your heart and settle into the comforts that this life has to offer. See, what I said right there is really important, because it might seem impossible to make a sacrifice. Maybe there's something that you really want and you don't want to give it up, but you're losing your love chasing this thing that's really a lust, right? Something that you desire might be in the way of true love. And true love is given to us by Jesus. So to find true love for yourself, you have to walk in the ways of Jesus and understand, which we'll get to a reading from the Bible in a little bit. But basically, it might seem impossible to make a sacrifice or forgive. Yeah, maybe you love someone, but they did something that you just can't get past. Like, we all did something that God couldn't get past, right? But then Jesus came and forgave us anyway and allowed us to be free and allow us to come into heaven even though we're sinners. He died for our sake. He made the ultimate sacrifice to forgive us for our sins. So Jesus really represents sacrifice and forgiveness. And why? Because He loves us. He wants us to understand the godly nature of things and the ways things can be beautiful, and not to get so absorbed in the ways of this life. So that's really what we're saying here. So I'm going to say this again. It may seem impossible to make a sacrifice or forgive. Same way how some people may think it's impossible that Jesus died for our sins and then rose from the grave. Like, people might not believe in things of that nature, but like, it may seem impossible, to make a sacrifice to forgive in them tremendous ways that Jesus did for us. And it might seem easier to disregard, like, seeing how you can just not believe it, like, it kind of all connects. Like, it might seem easier to disregard your heart, which is like you can't forgive someone, you can't sacrifice something for your love, like, and your love could be Jesus, so it all connects. Like, it could be a personal thing you connected to, a Jesus thing, it all makes sense. So, like, it might seem easier to disregard your heart and settle into the comforts that this life has to offer. Life is not always as it seems. Because life seems like, hey, I don't have to, like, my heart might be telling me one thing, but my mind's saying, you know, I could do this and this and this and be happy. But then you do that, you do this, and you do that. You do all the things you thought would make you happy, and you still aren't fulfilled. The only way to really be fulfilled is with that true love. You can't disregard it, even though it might seem like you could fulfill that desire with something else. Like that passion, that desire for the true love, I can fulfill it with a different desire for this. And then you get that. It doesn't fulfill it, right? So that's basically what I'm saying there. So that's why life is not always as it seems, because it seems like you could fix your own problems. It seems like it'll all be good once I get here. Once I do this, then you do it. Now what? So life is not always as it seems. To find happiness, throwing love away is not an option. So that doesn't really need an explanation. To find happiness, throwing love away is not an option. You may be able to find temporary comfort, but that is all you will find. Like, you could throw your love away and find temporary comfort, but that's all you're gonna find. Like, you're never gonna find your love in the comfort. You know what I mean? Like, that short-term comfort things. So, you know what I'm saying. So it says, you may be able to find temporary comfort, but that is all you'll find. Only true love can satisfy your soul. And to achieve love, you may have to sacrifice and forgive. So, Jesus showed us what true love is because he did it for us. What did he have to do? He had to sacrifice himself to forgive us. I mean, it's just amazing what Jesus did, what he did. But yeah, only true love can satisfy your soul. And to achieve love, you may have to sacrifice and forgive. So that's really the main message of this morning, is love is hand in hand with sacrifice and forgiveness. Throwing away love is not an option if you want to find true happiness. The temporary comforts of this life will not satisfy you. Those are the main key takeaways, right? So now we're going to go to the King James Bible. The Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, could be an acronym that you might want to tune into. So this reading is from Mark 8, verses 34 through 38. So here it goes. And this is just the red text. Like, you see, I'm only going to read the red text. There's black and red text. You can download the KJV Bible app. It's called KJV Bible. You can get a little widget. It has daily prayers and stuff. I mean, it's pretty neat app. But I just lost my reading clicking the widget. All right, I'm back on it. So basically, this is our reading from the Bible today. Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself. So Jesus is dead, right? We're the ones that are coming after Jesus, right? So whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself. So deny yourself of the comforts this world has to offer, right? Deny yourself of how you think you can solve your own problems and live your own life the way you want it, the way you think it'll make you happy, right? Because you don't really know nothing. You're lost without God and Jesus. Like, no offense. You could seem happy, but There's a reason all this text is here in the Bible for us, and everyone knows about this stuff. Like, you might not have read the Bible, but everyone knows about the Bible and God and Jesus, because that's who created everything here. And you can be strong and choose to believe over everything else you see in the world, because a lot of things in the world aren't pointing you in the direction of God. So that's why you have to deny yourself of things of this world, because they're trying to get you away from God. So you have to deny yourself of those things. So it says, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. It says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. So before you come to God, you're living your own life, doing the things you think you should do, right? And not adhering to God's wisdom and God's guidance and the Holy Spirit, allowing the Holy Spirit to guide you through your life, right? So basically, you could save your life and all these things you care about and choose to ignore the gospel, or you could pick up your cross and throw away the old life you used to know for the new life with Christ. That's what this is saying. It's not saying kill yourself. Kill yourself for God. That's not what it's saying. It says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. So lose the life you knew before and pick up the new life of the gospel. You don't need to save your old ways. Your old ways led you to misery and not being fulfilled. Like, there's a lot of highs and lows. There's a lot of comfort in a bad life, but you need to turn it around and do this, and you'll be forever thankful, so grateful. So I'm gonna read it one more time. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So we see that a lot, I believe, with entertainers of this world, because they literally say it. They cry out for help in a lot of songs they make and stuff of that nature, saying even a lot of people say they sold their soul that are famous. Like, they say it. Like, I think there's an album, we sold our soul to the devil for rock and roll or something. Like, there's a lot of examples. I've seen a lot, but basically, and they're miserable, and they make songs about misery. Like, they're crying out for help because they sold their soul to gain the whole world, gain all the fame, all the stuff they thought would make them happy. Sold their soul to do that. But they're forever craving love. They don't have that. They don't have it. It's empty. So you shouldn't look up to people who sold their soul. Like, you shouldn't be like, oh, they're so cool because they have these nice cars and these nice watches and all this stuff that doesn't make them happy. Like, because they're really sad and way sadder than I am. Like, I might think I'm sad because I don't have the stuff they have, but they have all that stuff and they're way more sad than you. Why are you trying to get there? Why are you trying to be that? It's dumb. So basically, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? This is kind of a rhetorical question. There is no profit in selling your soul. There's not. You're losing the most precious thing you have. You gain the whole world. What's the world worth? The world is ashes to ashes and dust to dust. This world is temporary. The only thing you're promised in this life is death. So, for what shall a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? The world is just a gateway. I don't know. So why would you sell your soul for this temporary life that is full of misery? Like, you need to find the path and take it and ride that high road all the way up to where there's no misery, and boom, you're in heaven and everything's awesome. Like, you can't even fathom how awesome it will be, and neither can I, because we live in a miserable world where there's a lot of problems. It's like we can't even begin to think about a world with no problems. Like, because like if we try to create a utopia, it's a dystopia. Like, you learn about that in English class. Like, man can't create a perfect world because man doesn't know the ways. God knows the ways, and only by following God we can receive the wisdom to be there, you know? Like, we can't create anything perfect because we're imperfect in our nature. We're naturally sinful, and only through Jesus we can resurrect ourselves and become a new being and become born in a new light and not in our old ways that we gave up. We give up our old ways to be born in this new light. So you have to change. You have to be willing to change, which goes with sacrifice. I mean, this whole thing goes with sacrifice. Are you willing to deny your old life, sacrifice all the stuff that used to make you happy, and believe in Jesus? Because that is what love is all about. If you want to have true love, you need to be able to sacrifice all the stuff you thought was making you happy. Because then once you actually do have love, you will be actually happy, not just with a bunch of stuff you thought was making you happy. Because what you feel might not be real. Like, you could take drugs and feel happy, but you're not really happy, because then you're going to come down from that high. So for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. So this is talking about how Jesus will be back one day. And if you hear the gospel and choose to disregard it, be ashamed of what people are saying, spit in their faces, no, you're dumb, I'm right, you're wrong, my life's perfect, my life's great, I don't need nothing you have to offer, like, and you want to believe in this adulterous and sinful world, and you don't want to be a child of God, and you don't want to adhere to the gospel, I mean, you want to be ashamed so much of us and the gospel, then it's saying how Jesus is going to be ashamed of you when he comes back to earth. And I believe this is referring to when I think they're going to end the earth, right? I mean, I don't know everything, but what it's going to be is, right, it's going to be like doomsday, judgment day, something like Jesus comes back and ends the world, brings all the good people with him, all the bad people gone. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you're gonna suffer, I know that. So yeah, I mean, definitely gonna suffer. And it's not even like, oh, you should be scared because Jesus is gonna come back one day and you're gonna suffer. It's like, you should be scared because if you don't adhere to this now, you're gonna suffer throughout your whole life. You're gonna have highs and lows, and you're gonna have little comforts that aren't fulfilling your desire for pure love and real love. You're getting a lot of fake highs and fake love out of things this world has to offer. Feeling good. Oh, I just bought this new blah blah blah, I feel good. That new thing becomes an old thing. You might be young, you're gonna be an old thing. You're gonna turn old. Like, nothing in this life is good forever, but your soul is forever. And you can choose to work on your spirit and work on your soul and be whole. Be a beautiful person. And just try to live in the glory of God. So that is the reading. All right, I'll read it once through without interrupting. whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. But yeah, I never touched on that one part. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Like, they might offer you fame, money in exchange for your soul, right? Like, but it's saying nothing compares to the value of your soul. So it's saying, like, there's nothing worth what your soul is worth. So there's nothing a man can give you in exchange for your soul that's worth it. And that's basically what that one part's saying. So that is all the basically knowledge part of church. I mean, maybe church is an hour long. This video was 20 minutes. Service, 20 minutes. Next 40 minutes, go on a walk. Play some cornhole in your yard or something. Put on some tunes that you like to listen to and chill out. Maybe you just want to tan in the sun, relax. Maybe this is your whole Sabbath day and it's not just an hour for you. You want to go to the beach and take the rest of the day to just embrace life the way you love to. Whatever you love to do, maybe take the next 40 minutes and do whatever you love to do. Because that's what I think we should be doing here. And that's why I would love to make an atmosphere that is more of like a backyard party where everyone's just allowed to do whatever they want. Maybe you just want to socialize. Maybe you want to play a game. Maybe you want to do your own thing. Maybe you just want to leave after 20 minutes and do your own thing. I mean, I would love to make this a thing where it could be like 20 minutes of talking or whatnot, and like a Bible reading, something that we could take away from and feel like we could worship together and feel good together. But yeah, this is like the part. This is what some people might refer to as like the boring part of church, right? So I would just enjoy the next 40 minutes in this hour, because that's how I envision it being if we could one day achieve that goal of this being like an in-person thing where I'm actually speaking to you, I'm not speaking to a camera, and we can obviously have anyone else that wants to speak at the church on anything they want to speak about. You're free to do that too. This is not like I'm your dictator. No, this is a church for all of us, and for now it's an online thing. You can submit your videos. Low power mode, but you can submit your videos to the Dropbox and send it to the number that I left in the description. It's going to be in every video. So basically you download your videos to Dropbox if you want to be a part of this and put your messages out there too, because this isn't just me, this isn't my church, this is our church. I just want everyone to enjoy it. So yeah, you can definitely send me a video. You just have to download it to Dropbox or Google Drive or however you know that you could do it. I know Dropbox is free, it's easy. You download the video to Dropbox on your phone, and then you just send me the link, and then I can download it off of Dropbox and then post it right to the channel. But hopefully this could be an in-person thing one day where you can just come up, I can sit down, and I can listen to what you have to say, and we can all just support each other, and then eventually the service ends and we have 40 minutes where we can talk to each other. We could play some cornhole. Maybe you said something when you were speaking that I really am marinating on. I had a lot to say. It sparked a lot of thoughts. Maybe I want to have a conversation with you now. Now the 20 minutes is over, and we're scheduled to be here at this park or maybe whatever for the next 40 minutes. Maybe I want to come up. I want to talk to you now because you inspired me to have this conversation with you about whatever. So that would be a dream come true for this to be bigger than an online thing. But for now, if you want to be a part of the online thing, you certainly can, because like I said, this isn't just my thing, this is our thing. So hope I inspired you to maybe make a video, or maybe say you would be down to be part of a service where I would bring like games and maybe food and drinks and stuff, and yeah, on like a Saturday morning at the park or something like that. So that'd be cool. Yeah. So anyway, you want to reach out, you can. And that's pretty much all. But I love you guys so much, and I thank you for being a part of this Indigo Church.